Hello, everybody. Haven't done a video in a while. It's been a while. I had an experience today. I was able to go to church for the first time in a long time. As I was sitting there, I realized that the last couple of years have been pretty awful. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of trials, a lot of loss, a lot of pain. And as I look back on those times, I'm far enough ahead now. I'm starting to see why all those things had to happen and why my whole life had to absolutely fall apart. It did. I literally felt the walls of my life crumbling and crashing into me, and there was nothing I could do about it. Like, every part of my life was a disaster. And then my whole life just blew up. And I've always been a Christian. I've always believed in God. And I lost it. I will be completely honest. I lost it. It's not that I didn't think he existed anymore, but I sure as heck didn't think he cared about me, because how could he let all of the things that happened to me in a very short amount of time that just cut me to the core? How could he let that happen in such a short, I was not strong enough for that. I didn't think. It was just more than I could handle. And I didn't understand why. And I did end up, going, what are you doing? I can't handle anymore. And I broke. Been really hard. A lot of trials. A lot of trials. Looking back, there were many miracles along the way. Some things that I wanted to share. The first thing is miracles still happen. And they may not seem like big miracles. They may be little miracles. I fell apart and my pieces were all over, just spread everywhere. And I was done trying to pick up the pieces. Through this time, I would get impressions of how things were going to be and what I was working towards, and how life was going to change for me eventually. I really felt he was kind of telling me what was coming. And I was like, I don't see how that is going to happen ever. And they're happening. And I'm watching them unravel and unfold. And it's, I would say, a miracle. Really, I think it's a bunch of little miracles put together. And things just started happening. I started changing. My situation started changing. People around me started changing for the good. So I know the fight is hard, but it's worth it. I promise. Keep plugging. So do not give up. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on people who care about you. There was a time I was in the ER, and I was in there for a long time, and overnight, and I had the perfect nurse at the perfect time to help me get better and the help that I needed. The nurse I had before her was a terrible nurse. I'm just like you. I'm not special. There is no reason why these good changes would happen to me and not you. They can happen to everybody. I see people around me that, you always have those people in your life that you're like, oh, they are never going to change, or they are always going to be that way. God works miracles still. They are not done. He does not love us any less than he loved the people back in biblical times. So why would the miracles stop? They're still going. And I'm slowly able to do more. I mean, little miracles like the fact that I went to church today. I didn't talk to anybody. I kind of snuck out, but I was there and I was able to function there. I've been able to go to my son's basketball games. It's worth it. So that kind of brings me to the second thing that I want to talk about. And that is, we have to keep pushing forward, even through the hard times. Especially through the hard times. Especially when you feel like it's not. That's usually when it's the strongest. Or don't ever give up. You are not alone. As you can probably tell, I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian my whole life. I use God as my higher being. If you don't, that's fine. It still applies to you. The universe will take care of you. If you believe it's your intuition or the Holy Spirit or whatever you believe in, you know that you have like this gut, this conscience, or whatever you want to call it. And sometimes we just get so bogged down in life, we can't hear it. Take some quiet time so you can hear what your intuition, spirit, God, universe, nature is telling you. I'm telling you, you're not alone. And that is always with you. It is always with you. Don't give up. Do not give up. You are not alone. You're not fighting this fight alone. I know you feel like it in the middle of tough times. That is when God is working the hardest. I truly believe that. Now looking back on those hard times, he was making moves, and he was shifting things around, and he was shifting things in me, and he was shifting things in situations around me, and it just worked. Things just started working, and I didn't know at the time. I was still in my dark place, but God was working. Do not give up. Keep plugging forward. I look back, and at the times where I felt like I was abandoned by God, and my whole life was falling apart, and I didn't know if he either hated me or if he forgot about me. I wasn't sure which one, but I was pretty darn sure that he was not anywhere to be seen. He was behind the scenes fixing things and putting things together. So I became who I need to be. I'm still working on that. I am not a polished, finished product yet, but it's helping mold me into who he needs me to be and who he wants me to be, and to do what he wants me to do and needs to do. I will tell you, even in those hard times, I felt this voice telling me that these things were going to happen. And I remember thinking, I'm sorry. Even God couldn't make that happen. That seriously was a thought that I had. Not even God could make that happen. And they're happening. And they started happening when I kind of just gave it up. Like, I'm done trying to control my life. I'm done trying to control every aspect of my life so everything's okay. You can't do it. You can't do it. So I just said, you know what, God? You take care of it. You handle it, because you couldn't mess up my life any more than I have myself. So keep moving forward, even if it's just little baby steps. Little baby steps. Yeah, maybe that you have to do baby steps for a while. I did. Baby steps. I mean, getting out of bed for more than just a potty break. That was a baby step for me. Showering. That was a baby step for me. That's how far back I had gone. Now my steps are a little bigger, and they keep getting a little bit bigger, and I'm seeing the wisdom in the last couple of years I've had. I never, ever, ever want to go back and experience the last couple of years again. Ever. But I never thought I'd say this. I'm grateful. I am grateful for those 2 years. I'm grateful that things fell apart the way that they did, because the way they're getting put back together now is, I wouldn't even call it a mini miracle. There are big miracles going on right now that I never thought possible. Never thought possible. All things are possible. All things are possible. If you believe in yourself and you believe in God, there is nothing that you cannot do if it's what you're meant to do. If it's your calling in life, go for it. Go for it. So that kind of brings me, like I said, I am grateful for that. Gratitude. That's the third thing I want to talk about a little bit. Gratitude. I have been, trust me, I know that there's at least someone out there listening to this going, yeah, well, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't have anything to be grateful for. Been there. Thought that, but it was not true. It was not true. I finally was like, well, okay, I have my son. And for the longest time, that's the only thing I was grateful for. And so I hung on to that hard, because that's a pretty big thing, pretty big reason to fight for me and to fight for him. Then slowly I started realizing all the people who came into my life and helped me at certain times, the perfect time that I needed that specific person. And there's a lot of people that have had a lot of support, a lot of professional support, a lot of family support, a lot of friend support, and the right person has said and done just the right thing at just the right time. I don't believe that's a coincidence. I don't. I think that was God's hand, letting me know that everything's okay, that things were rough, but he was still there, and he put people in my path and things in my path to help me while he was working on fixing the rest of my life and fix me inside. Big miracles. Probably will share them with you eventually. But just suffice it to say, a lot of change, a lot of good change. And I'm very grateful for those. The weather, I seriously cannot wait for warmer weather because I have learned that being outside actually is something I enjoy doing, and I have deprived myself of that. I'm not sure why. You can be grateful for that. You can be grateful for sunrises and sunsets because they are gorgeous. And you can look at them and be like, you know what? There is a sign that God's paying attention. God painted you a picture to let you know He's still here. He's still helping you, and not to give up hope. And you don't understand why, you don't understand how. Take a step forward and go anyway. I felt like I was impressed. Like, okay, this is where your life's going to go. Start preparing for that. And I'm like, I'm be completely honest and raw here. I did not believe it. I didn't. I started, all right, preparing for different things in life and changing my thought process. And now I can see all the work that was happening while I was in my head going, it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing. I have seen changes, and I have seen growth, and I have seen little miracles. Your intuition, your gut, the Holy Ghost inside you, whatever you want to call it, it's real. And unfortunately, it's a still small voice, and it's quiet. So you have to be in tune to it to understand it. And I was so busy in my life that I couldn't hear it anymore. I had no compass. Compass was gone. And so I just spun out of control. I mean, just busy. I just kept myself busy. And I could not hear my intuition. I could not feel where my path needed to go. And so it didn't. It went down. That's where it went. Let yourself be led. Let yourself feel. I totally believe that if we tune in to our inner self and our intuition, we'll know exactly what to do with every decision. That quick, not necessarily. Sometimes you have to kind of ponder and kind of work things out in your mind. But when it comes down to it, your intuition, you know what's best for you. And if you don't know, you can be told, you can be guided to what's best for you. So believe in yourself. If I send back going, this doesn't apply to me. It applies to you. This applies to you. It applies to everybody. We're all idiots. Learn from it. You get back up and you keep going forward. I don't care if you're crawling or army crawling. I don't care if you're shuffling your feet. I don't care if you are being drugged by your feet and you are kicking and screaming, no, I don't want to go this way. That was kind of me for a while. God was like, all right, come on. And He had me by the feet and dragging me, and I'm clawing, going, no. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. It wasn't fun. It's not fun, and it's stupid. I've kind of become kind of artsy. I've started drawing and obviously doing these kind of things and writing. I have my book that I'm working on. I've started taking way too long to do my makeup, and I think it's because like I see my face as a canvas and I'm kind of like doing art with it. It's what makes me happy. And so that's the other thing I want to say that I learned today. Do what makes you happy, and don't worry about what other people think about it. I'm a true believer in I don't want to hurt anyone else, but I'm going to do what I need to do to make me happy and my life a better place. I'm not going to not do something that I feel my path needs to go. I'm not going to not do it because it hurts someone else's feelings or they don't think it's the right thing for me. I decide what's right for me. And God, you have to take your own path. You have to drive your own road. This is about you. This is about you and your happiness. Take what other people say into consideration. Think about it. Kind of mull it around. But at the end of the day, go with your gut. Go with the spirit. Go where you feel your path is being led to. And you can never go wrong. So it was time to reinvent myself. And I did. And in a lot of ways, that new person I've become is someone I can be proud of again. I feel hopeful again. I feel like I didn't go through all of that for nothing. And it was a long road, and I never want to go down that road again. I want to help prevent anyone else from going down maybe the path I went down. And if you've already gone down it and you're scraping just barely to get by, I want to help you take that first step forward, because man, that's the hardest one. And sometimes you have to take that step a few times. That we need to try to find a way to be happy with who we are now, where we are now. Be grateful for it, even if it kind of sucks. And then work your way towards what you want. I have a friend, dear friend, who is never happy where they are. Very goal-oriented, very proactive. One of the hardest workers I know. Bust his butt. But he's never happy where he's at. He, was climbing up the ladder, and, it was always, after this checkpoint, then I'll be happy. Then everything will be great. Then everything will be fine. Well, he would hit that checkpoint and he'd be like, oh, no, now I gotta wait till this next checkpoint to be happy, right? Happiness was always the next step. Be happy on the step you're at. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It is what it is. You are who you are and you are where you are. But still try and get to that next step. I think we should always be evolving. I think we should always be self-reflective, where we think about how we can improve without degrading yourself. Love yourself the way you are now. But there's always room for change. There's always room for improvement. I felt like I needed to share my story for today. And I was trying, and there was another force that was trying to stop me from being able to do that. So here I am doing it, because once I figured that out, I was like, no evil is going to win in my life anymore. My God is the master of my life now. And if that's what he wants me to do, then that's what I'm going to do. And I wasn't going to let anyone or anything stop me once I figured that out. So that's what he had to do to get my attention. So don't follow my footsteps. Don't be so prideful and so stubborn that you cannot see your flaws in your life and make positive changes. The other thing I want to say real quick is my dear friend Claire taught me something huge, and I just want to really reiterate it. And it was, because I asked her how she balanced her life, but she just balances it perfectly. And her answer really kind of surprised me. It shouldn't have, but it did. She said, I learned to say no, and I say no a lot. But I think a lot of us are just jam-packed of busy. And we feel bad to say no, so we don't say no. Because when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And if you're saying no to something, you're saying yes to something else. And that something else is usually, at this point in our life, our family. And it just struck me. And you're just not feeling like you have it in you to do it, say no. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And you don't want the most important people in your life to get the least amount of your time and attention. Pray about it. Ponder on it if you're not a prayer. Meditate on it if you're not a prayer. So you know where your path is supposed to go. So you know what to say yes to and what to say no to. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to comment down here. Be bold. Be brave. Put it out there. What is your first step? What is your step forward you're going to take right now, today? So I can't wait for you to share. Once we put it down and we tell somebody or a group of people what you're going to do, it almost makes it like, then you're held accountable. Then it's like, oh man, I did agree to this. And all right. Like, tell us. I love sharing. I love hearing other people's stories and success stories and even failure stories. We can all learn from failure stories. Let's learn from others' failed stories, like mine, so that you don't have the same one. I look forward to hearing what y'all have to say. So stay tuned, because I'll update you. Things are going well. Things are going better. I still have good and bad days, but all in all, I am seeing God's hand in it, and I know everything's going to be okay. I don't exactly know how. I don't know exactly how everything's going to work out. I just know that they will. Because I've seen little miracles in his hands in my life. If he's here taking care of me, I can't lose, so I just have to trust. All right? So that would be my words of wisdom. Don't be like me and have to learn from really, really tough experiences. Learn from other people's really tough experiences, because it's a really tough road to learn from your own. I call it School of Hard Knocks. I have a PhD, I'm sure, by now. But, all right, everyone take care. Thank you for following and sharing, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. In my little corner of inspiration, I've got inspirational quotes and stuff all over, and it's actually my punching bag. Anyway, sorry for my language, but he was. And I explained to him, I said, it's okay to make mistakes, right? And he was like, what? Like, it was a foreign concept to him. And I said, well, yeah, everyone makes mistakes. Even you? I was like, son, if only you knew. Yes, even mommy makes mistakes sometimes. Well, that just blew his mind. I think I scarred him for life with that, but